Welcome to Unfiltered, Pixel Pro Audio's weekly...
Tay, hold on.
What?
They can't see us yet.
Still in stealth mode. Pixel Pro Audio's weekly show. We have sound samples and our first impressions of the Aston Stealth microphone. Hey guys, welcome back around the drum. I'm Tay, this is David, and that is Jay. Today we have sound samples of the Aston Stealth microphone just released, and we're gonna get right into the sound samples. But David, what do we have in store for us?
We've got acoustic guitar coming, distorted guitar and clean guitar, and then male spoken words scrolling through the different voicings.
A whole bunch of different samples, and
There's a lot.
there's a wide variety of stuff to listen to.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
This is David with Pixel Pro Audio. Today we are using the Aston Stealth microphone. This is the V1 setting with the phantom power engaged. The phantom power is still on. I just switched to the V2 setting. This is meant for female vocals. I've noticed that this one is a bit brighter, more airy sounding. I just switched to the guitar setting. I've noticed this one has a lot of mids. I love it on guitars. I think you guys are going to like the samples as well. And the phantom power is still on. Now we are on the dark setting. This sounds like a ribbon microphone, and the phantom power is still on. I love how smooth this one sounds. All right, and this is the Aston Stealth with no phantom power engaged. We've got our preamp on the Clarett cranked. Still a very smooth sound. This is the dark setting. This is the guitar setting with no phantom power engaged. It's still got a lot of those mids. Helps an instrument cut through the mix. This is the V2 setting. It's meant for female vocals, nice and airy. It's a good place to start and can sit in a mix nicely. And this is V1, meant for male vocals. Again, no phantom power engaged. This is just straight into the mic. Sounds really smooth and natural.
All right, thanks, David, for getting those together for us. Aston has come out and said this is the most versatile microphone around and available, and I think generally we agree with that because of its different voicings and it's able to do whatever you kind of want it to do. So, Jay, let's hear what you have to say about this microphone after listening to the samples and after getting hands-on with it yourself.
I really like it a lot. I was really impressed with the guitar, the electric guitar in particular. I love the way those samples sounded. I feel like I don't know what's going on with the circuit inside the microphone for the guitar setting, but on the guitar setting, it almost sounds a little bit EQ'd or something to where it's just going to fit exactly where you want it to be in a mix.
Yeah.
And to me, like, there aren't a lot of microphones that do that.
Right.
Like, there's the Sennheiser 609, 906 style microphones.
Yeah,
those
are good.
Those kind of do the same thing. But this does that, and it also has, like, the other settings. And I think the male vocal setting, I can't really comment yet. I haven't used it on a female for the female setting. But for the male vocal setting, I feel like it works really well, particularly on my voice. We're going to hook this up in a little bit so you'll be able to hear what it sounds like on my voice. The only thing that I noticed was the P's really popped.
Yep.
I mean, you have very plosive P's.
Yep.
He's known for that. Oh my gosh, I think I heard that. Like, I think you just exploded the computer. It's on fire. But because when I was talking into it before, I don't recall having the P's bomb out like that.
Yeah.
And we had the same issue with the warm audio mic.
We just have, it's our Pixel Pro audio name. It just,
I'm sure you just blew everything up too.
Yep. It's still on fire.
Well, while David tells us about his opinions and using this mic, because he's used it in several different situations already.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
You get that hooked up while he.
Okay. Can I say one more thing before I do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So the dark setting is cool. It's the only one I'm not sure what I would do with yet. I'm sure I would find something, but I'm just not quite sure what it is yet. I love that it's there, that I can use that for something, whatever that's going to end up being.
I was kind of thinking that same thing. I mean, I guess sometimes there's a certain female that sings too brightly and harsh, and I think I would use it for that.
Or a jazz vocal or something
like
that.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, if I had a super bright guitar amp, maybe.
And that's kind of how I am with ribbon mics, too, is I don't, outside of something like a Royer 121 or something, I don't really generally use them for much, but when I use them, I like them. And like a ribbon mic is great for a room mic too, and maybe this could be used for that too with the active settings.
Oh yeah,
and that's the other thing. Why don't you talk about the active settings? I think we all agreed that it sounds pretty great, just phantom powered active. Yeah. So I'm going to switch this out, and you talk about that.
Sure, I'm going to turn this down while you're getting that plugged in. Right. So the active setting, it's got a Class A preamp built into it. If you saw our other Aston Stealth video, you should know about that. Taylor's going to put a link. Let's go right here.
I should back up a little bit.
And you can watch our other Aston Stealth video. But it's got a Class A preamp in it. And what I noticed every time I've used it, I just don't want to turn it off. It sounds really good. It adds this sheen. It sounds more polished than with it off. And
would you use it for broadcast purposes with phantom power on?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Sorry, definitely.
And you've gotten to use this in a recording setting. So talk a little bit about that too.
So I love it on guitar. Instantly when I heard it on the guitar setting downstairs, just through our voices, it's terrible on voice, honestly, because it's so mid-rangey. But I lost it because that is exactly what I want to hear out of a guitar recording is the mids. And if I don't have to boost guitars at all, like EQ-wise, then perfect. But you didn't have to cut anything. You didn't have to boost anything. When I recorded 2 sessions with it.
Okay.
One on rhythm guitars and lead guitars, and then one on rhythm guitars for a different band. And I was comparing it to other recordings I'd done for those bands. And the raw guitar tone we got with that mic was better than the finished guitar tone from the last recording.
Wow.
It was perfect. It blew me away.
Wow. We should have not talked and have a montage video like of Jay trying to put that together. That would have been great.
So now we got it on. It's on the V1 setting.
Okay. And that's it's
Male, the male setting.
Male vocal setting.
Yep.
Based on their typical voice that they have.
So it'll be, I don't know what this is going to sound like, but it'll be interesting to see what it sounds like with the P's.
Pixel Pro
Audio.
Because it has this mesh windscreen on top at the end, and that just goes directly, down into the microphone. So you can install and use a pop filter on that. I don't think it comes with a windshield, the ones that go over the top.
The box is right there. Let's open it up. Why don't you hand it to me? All right, you keep talking.
So, you can get really close to that onto an amp. How far away did you have it on the amps?
I always put the mic right on the speaker.
Okay.
As close as I can possibly get it.
I don't think it comes with a pop filter.
We've got
it doesn't.
Actually a nice manual. That's a rarity these days.
Oh, yeah. That's the
It says,
It's actually
look
the
under,
other Aston mics.
It says, look under me inside of here. Take a peek.
Oh, here we go.
It's got it actually says, look under me, take a peek.
What's under there?
I'm guessing that the clip and stuff was under there, but
Yes.
there's also a sticker.
Probably a pin, maybe.
Oh, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah, they
little
always
Aston
include a pin.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Little accessory for you. Let's talk about the functionality of the physical portion of it. It comes with its own.
I'm just gonna do this. Sorry.
Just toss it. It comes with a stand mount, and that stand mount is a push in, pull out kind of thing. There's no like a button you push to release or to what's the opposite of release, like connect or whatever. It just pushes in and out, and you saw Jay try to put it together over there.
That was the easiest part.
And we were,
the part I was having trouble with was that you actually have to have the microphone a certain way because of where the XLR goes in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
But once you figure that out, now that I know that.
And so that just goes in and out. I think that's fine for what it is. I mean, would people use this with shock mounts and or how would that? It's supposed to have an internal shock mount.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that you wanna, if you're doing a lot of voiceovers or something, you don't want to and you're actively recording something live like a podcast, you don't want to be hitting it. So an additional pop filter, a shock mount would work well. Would you put one on that?
My thoughts on that clip, personally, I don't like it. But if it had a shock mount, you couldn't get to the voice selection.
Okay. Well, it would depend where you put it. If it was one that went around right here, it would go on.
Oh,
there.
yeah, like the BP40. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice then. That would be my preference, just first of all, aesthetically speaking. Yeah. But I'm just not big on the functionality of a clip without like a release button or something.
Sure. Yeah. If it was stationary and it was sitting there and you weren't around the microphone, touching it or doing anything during your session or something, it would be fine on the stand mount.
Yeah.
Or if you're not walking around on the floor, during recording or something. All right, let's get to the switch. They call it a twist switch, and it is meant to be used a certain way. And we first got it out, we were like, how do you turn this? This is weird. Yeah. Like we're trying to use our fingers and
we were trying to go like this with our fingers,
and it doesn't work like that.
And that is not how you should do it at all.
There is a 30-second video on their website about it, but quickly it will tell you grip your hands like this, and you put the microphone in here, and then you're supposed to grip it like that, and then twist. And then you find that is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, that actually works very well.
And it's supposed to be so you don't, accidentally change it during the session or something. But that's how that works. So this microphone has one polar pattern, that's cardioid. And my question to you off air, David, before we recorded this was, does that selector change the polar pattern? I realize it has one, but it almost sounded like the V2 opened up a little bit.
Yeah, it sounded more omni. It probably wasn't. It's probably just a frequency response thing.
No, because typically how these pickup patterns are achieved on a dynamic microphone is these holes here on the side is what give you that. So if it's got these holes, if you want to try to create an omni pattern, you cover the holes.
Okay.
But what you're probably hearing is just that increased presence in high end, and that's making it sound more open.
And like a lot of low end was cut off, and that's what an omni capsule sounds like.
Yeah.
So
great. Yeah. affordability. This thing is in the range of a lot of people's budgets, and I think like that was their target.
$399.
Yep.
And we totally agree. This is accessible to a lot of people, and I think with the versatility that it has, it's a great combo. So price and versatility.
When you're comparing it to an SM7B or a Shure SM7B or an Electro Voice RE20, which are the two most common broadcast microphones, this microphone is the same price or cheaper than both of those, and it's got a preamp built into it, which makes it much more versatile, because a lot of people who are doing podcasts really struggle with not having enough gain to actually get the volume up, and then
without other equipment,
right? And then they're cranking their preamps, and it gets noisy, and
or you have to buy a cloud lifter, which is $150.
Right.
Minimum.
So this has all that built in, and I think it's a superb deal. It sounds great.
Yeah,
I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to recommend it so much I'm taking this one home with me.
And we're getting 3 for the show.
Yeah. You'll be hearing more of these, because these are the mics we're going to use for the show from now on.
Yeah.
From now on.
So is this just a broadcast microphone, or you're like guaranteed this is for everything under the sun?
Everything.
Okay.
I mean, I feel that way about the SM7B in particular as well.
And you use it that way too.
I'm not as big a fan of the RE20. I think the RE20 is awesome for broadcast, but I don't like it really. The only other thing I've heard that I like it on is bass amps.
Kick drum is pretty good too, if it's tuned right.
Never been a fan of that.
Well, let us know what you think about the Stealth in the comments below. If you've used one, if you're going to get one, any questions you may have about it, we'd be happy to try to answer those. So thanks, guys, for your opinions here, and we'll see you again next time around the drum.